Yeah, I mean, obviously couldn't be any happier than started 4-0. It was a good weekend. We played Northwest Nazarene right out of the gate, and they got us 0-2. And as I told the team, it was a good gut check for us, and we were able to come back and win in 5, and we just gutted it out. Wasn't the prettiest Maverick volleyball you're ever going to see, but I think that's what good teams do is they find a way to win when they're not playing their best. And we got Spitzer going on that weekend. That was really good, and Maddi continues to do what she does. So it was good. And I think we're in a point where we're not super cocky, that we're confident but not cocky, so we continue to work and we continue to know that we can get better.
Savannah, it's been a kind of an interesting year and a half of your career here.
Yeah, it's been
learning from two awesome veteran players ahead of you and now kind of thrust into that starting role. How's that transition been for you?
It's been a crazy year and a half, especially with all the COVID stuff and dealing with that. And then it gave me a lot of time to like transition and get like ready for college play because I have to fill Camille and Casey's shoes. And they're really big shoes to fill, so it's been good having like the COVID time to get caught up to them as much as I can before true competition.
Maddi, same thing, interesting path here and now doing a position that back to from your high school days and having some great success this year. What's been kind of the mantra for you this season?
Every day that we go to practice, we just want to get a little bit better, even if it's just an inch better. And we've had really the whole year to work on it. So COVID's been really hard, but it's also been able to help us by, like what Spitz said, giving us time to really come together as a unit, as a team. So.
Open it up for Pam.
Again, nobody else is here. So, and with the changes, I mean, you're watching and learning and going against those two last year, having to be trying, and you've slid to the other end of the floor. So just kind of the differences in the leadership that you guys have to take on this year, and it just looks like nobody's missed a beat. It just kind of, hey, I'm on this side instead of that side. Just set me the ball and let's go hit it.
I think something that we also have talked about a lot is last year we had a small group of people who are really pulling the cart for the team and being those leaders. But this year it's a lot more different because we're strong in all areas. I mean, everyone on the court does a really good job, and at practice, that's our greatest competition too. So we're just really deep this year, and I think a lot of people have stepped up into the leadership role.
Saying Savannah, you got hot last week. The first week, the outsides were kind of, they were hot. The middles did their job. And last week, all of a sudden, it's like, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. It just take a little time.
Sorry.
And got going.
Yeah, I guess I just needed a little bit to get used to like college play, and then I just felt comfortable, which was so nice. I felt comfortable with the setters, and finally, like everything that coaches have been telling me clicked that weekend. They showed me a picture of me in the spring.
It was from fall scrimmages.
From the fall scrimmages, and they were like, "This is why it was so hard to set you." And seeing how much like I'd grown since then really explained why I was able to like click this weekend for me.
Yeah, it's just sometimes it just the light bulb comes on, and I get it now. I mean, it's different from last year. Like I said, going up against basically practicing all year, and then okay, now you have to go for deuce.
Yeah.
It's a little mental thing. So I mean, obviously you talked all the time about the balance this team has, and I mean it showed again last week. Defensively, everything is just kind of prod them to take one more step.
I don't know if we necessarily need to prod them anymore. I mean, every day we go upstairs into our practice gym, we're trying to get better. So I don't think they need much prodding. I think they know that that's why they're there. And I think they also know when they step out on the floor that it could be them and it could be someone else. And I think a little bit of our slow starts, it's like we're waiting for that person to kind of like be Casey Guilford, like she's going to get our first kill no matter what. And now we're not quite sure where it's going to come from. And maybe that hesitation just is like, okay, where's it going to come from? But once we get it, I think everybody feels comfortable. And then our setters are doing a great job of finding the hitter that's hot or the matchup that works.
don't have to be Camille and Casey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you've got two others that are gonna do the same thing.
I love the balance on the front row right now because I know I can be up and doing my job, and I can trust Maddi or Gabby, Ashton, Holly, any of them to put away a ball.
Gabby?
Gabby?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe not Gabby.
Did having the fall, I mean, you guys are used to coming in, having a couple weeks to get ready, and you start playing as soon as you hit campus. Did having the fall and, you know, to have your spring practice, did that kind of help this team kind of figure out the strength going into the season, to have just a little bit more time to work on things?
Yeah, I think it was good, and it was also hard sometimes because there wasn't that carrot in front of you with the competition. But everyone did a good job of staying motivated and just trying to get a little bit better every day. And then this spring, after our fall break, I thought we picked up right where we left off, and then just started getting better right away because everyone is really excited and really motivated to get going.
Some late breaking news. Emily Tucker named RMAC Defensive Player of the Week.
Nice.
Coach, you talk about her stepping into a starting role due to a late injury and how she's handled that in the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, Emily's been great. I mean, we always thought that she was one of the better liberos in the RMAC, and she's had a great libero in front of her in Kirsten Lehman. So that's great for her. I think it shows that she is a great libero, and it's kind of a team award too. I think she's back there. She's comfortable with who she's playing defense next to. And it was interesting because Northwest Nazarene went after her early, and she struggled. And it was good that she found a way out of that. She started to pass really well, and obviously played great defense. So I guess we're not surprised because we know she's really good, and we're just happy and proud of her, happy for her and proud of her. Not the freshman.
Looking at CSU Pueblo, like you guys already played them, and when I was watching, I noticed like a lot of middle attacks. Maybe a little bit quicker. Being like the bread and butter is your middle, and you call it a zero tempo. Do you find that that's more of a trend with other teams in the RMAC? They're kind of adapting to it and picking up on it, or do you still feel like you guys run a quick attack that's just hard to stop?
Do you want to answer that?
You can go for it.
So I still feel that true zero is very hard to stop, and if we're running it correctly, it's just because we do it and we do it in our gym, it's hard to simulate in their gyms. And you do see more middles trying to run it, like Angelo State. I mean, that Chuck Waddington, he's the head coach down there. He told me we're running zero based on the success that he sees from our middles. But it's hard, and it's hard. I mean, our coaches have bought in and believe in it. And when Savannah first tries it, she's not going to be as successful as she was in high school for 2 or 3 weeks. And to stick with it is the key, and I think a lot of coaches just kind of give up on it, and we won't. We just know that it's going to work, and it just takes time. Pueblo is also very good in the middle. They run some zero tempo, and I think we can make some nice adjustments against them, but they're going to adjust against us as well, so it should be a really good game.
How hard was that to pick up on from high school?
It took me a while, a little bit to pick up on it. My most distinct memory was finally being on zero and then hitting the back wall with it. It was a lot to learn right away, but once it finally clicked for me, it changed the game for me. I love it, and I love being up on zero because it frees up the net from the block, and I can just hit it without a block almost.
All right, question of the week. Favorite Grand Junction restaurant, non-chain?
Rock Slide Brewery, for sure.
Rock Slide what?
Brewery.
Brewery.
Just the Rock Slide. Just the Rock Slide, the restaurant.
What is it?
Careful, Spitzer.
The name of the restaurant?
I was trying to think of a restaurant. I don't eat out much. Is Dream Cafe?
Yeah.
Dream Cafe's okay. Dream Cafe then.
That's the answer of the day.
Both really good choices, and I'd go to either one of those at any time. I think Ale House. I just think they're real consistent with what they do. I mean, the house up there that serves food. Yeah, right there on Patterson. That one. So, But yeah, I think they're just super consistent. So, and I think our team and our recruits really like it when we go there. Good atmosphere.